welcome back to Phil and Alex 2. So today I wanted to talk a little bit about what my symptoms have been throughout this IVF frozen embryo transfer process. That was a mouthful. So I have been on different medications for the transfer versus like when we did the egg retrieval, and so I've just experienced a lot of different things. I don't think I had a lot of symptoms through the egg retrieval, which is shocking. I think it's vice versa. But I've been doing a lot of estrogen patches and injections, and I think those are really what has caused me a lot of symptoms. So I wanted to get into a couple of those. So I've been on the meds for about 10 days now, and just over the last couple of days has really been when I've been noticing the symptoms. So the first one I talked over on our vlog actually about how I have been having some headaches. I don't get a lot of headaches, but if I do, I'll get like kind of a minor headache and very rarely take some painkillers for those. But this one was really excruciating. It felt like my frontal, like part of my head was going to like burst through my head. It was not fun. Like even like walking, like every step I took, like almost that pressure felt like it like gave me a headache. Bending over, doing any kind of things like that, just, it was not fun. But I don't have a headache right now, so that's really good. So I texted them and asked if that was okay, and they said it was okay right now before the transfer to take Tylenol or ibuprofen. I know different doctors have different opinions on that, but they said it was fine before the transfer. But next time, if I do get a headache, to actually take my blood pressure. So that made me a little bit nervous because that makes sense of maybe why I would have had like such a strong headache. And my blood pressure is normally really low, to the point where they ask me, you know, is this normal for you? Because it's less than 100 for the top number, and usually it's normally over 100. And so anyways, I am going to check my blood pressure next time that I get a headache. But that is one symptom that I have had. So the second symptom that I've had is increased sense of smell. And I actually asked them today if that was normal, and she said it probably has to do with the hormones. And I know that that's a symptom of pregnancy, and obviously I'm not pregnant, but there's something with that increased amount of hormones that my nose just like has smelled everything, and not necessarily in a good way. Like anything that doesn't smell good, I'm like, whoa, where is that coming from? Like, oh, like stop, like that is so gross and just very sensitive, which isn't bad. It's not like to the point where it's making me sick, which I've heard through pregnancy is an issue, but it's definitely heightened. So the next thing I want to remember kind of going through this process is how the injections have felt and how the injection sites have been feeling. I have heard a lot of people make comments on how when they do the progesterone injections that they can end up getting kind of lumps or sores, kind of build up of maybe kind of a scar tissue, kind of like lump. I have not experienced anything like that so far. I have only been doing estrogen injections. We haven't gotten to the progesterone yet, but I would say maybe I'm a little bit sore if I push on the site like the very next day, but it doesn't seem like it's sore or there's any lumps or any kind of pain more than just like the actual poke, and maybe like the next day a little bit sore. So far so good with the injections. If you guys don't want to get into like the nitty gritty, more details, a kind of graphic version of symptoms, I would go ahead and leave this video now and go ahead and come back for our next video. But for those who are really in this IVF process and is a female that really kind of wants to know what is going on or possibly could go on with their body with taking all this estrogen, I am about to explain a couple more symptoms that I have experienced. So the first one is breast tenderness. I know that that is a symptom through pregnancy, and so it makes sense when your hormones are high. Maybe you would have similar symptoms that you would have during pregnancy, but I would say I'm definitely more sore and tender to the point where maybe I don't want to put pressure or lean on them, and so that's definitely been one of the symptoms. And then my last symptom that I was not expecting, that I didn't need a heads up, but maybe it would have been nice to know that this is possibly a symptom, so maybe this will help some of you kind of going into it. Women will experience different things throughout their cycle and throughout the month, and typically like the day before you ovulate, you will have kind of like an egg white consistency, if you know what I mean, kind of a discharge. And that is actually very much increased when you are on estrogen. And because you are very heightened with your estrogen right before you ovulate, and so that makes sense of why that would be a symptom. My doctor said that is very normal. It just was a little bit unexpected. But anyways, totally TMI. We share our story because we want to be able to help and encourage you guys. It will give you a peace of mind if maybe that's a symptom that you may have. But anyways, I can't believe we are putting that out on the internet. But I hope these symptoms kind of gave you a idea of maybe what you could experience. If you guys experienced any other symptoms through your frozen embryo process, go ahead and leave those in the comments, especially if you have any symptoms that you experience during your progesterone injections, because for me, those start about maybe next week or so. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we will see you guys next time. Bye guys.